I have no idea if there's anyone here. It seems to be okay. Okay. Chat. Docs. Chat. Can anyone see? Okay, sign into chat. How is it that difficult? Okay. So I don't see anything in chat yet, but let's see. Can I just go like this? Try another way. Enter your password. Okay. Yes. Oh, what's happening? What does this mean? Okay. It is what it is. So wait, I can do this. I can put this one here. Okay. I think it's working at least, but what's this? Too strong, bro. Wait, can everyone see like the fluxing? I have no idea. Just all news. Animals, animals, animals. Well, I'm not surprised. What is this? A group of Swedish researchers have found that crabs feel pain and that their responses to uncomfortable stimuli are not simply reflex actions. Is there a... Okay, research was published in the journal Biology. Is that a straight up link to the... Yeah, it is. Okay. Simple summary. Nociceptors detect damaging stimuli and send signals to the central nervous system about potential injury, which can give rise to pain. Crustaceans, such as shore crabs, are widely used in science and aquaculture. Understanding whether they can experience pain is essential for improving their welfare. One key criterion for assessing pain is the presence of nociceptors. The study investigated the existence of nociceptors in shore crabs by examining the CNS response. I do not know what that means. To two types of potentially noxious stimuli: mechanical, chemical, or acetic acid. Using electrophysiological equipment, the crab's CNS activity was measured when different parts of the body, such as soft tissue of the claws, antennae, and legs, were stimulated. The results suggested that the crabs responded to both mechanical and chemical stimuli, indicating the existence of what? Of okay. The existence of putative nociceptors in these areas. Interestingly, responses to physical stimuli were shorter and more intense than the chemical stimuli, which elicited a longer response. The antennae responded only to the chemical stimuli with no discernible response to touch. Though for research needed to fully understand pain, study provides important information on the perception of tissue damage in a crustacean. Okay. Is there any these results indicate that 32 areas around the crab's body exhibited putative nociceptive responses that respond to noxious stimuli, noxious chemical, with many areas having additional mechanical sensitivity. Further research is needed to clearly define the properties of nociceptors in this species and other decapod. This is an important first step. Okay, because I'm a fucking amateur, we're just gonna do it like this. Can you simplify this? Okay. Nociceptor senses that detect harmful stimuli and send signals to the brain. Yes, this study looked at whether shore crabs have nociceptors, which would indicate they might feel pain. Says it is okay, but yeah, how do you actually find it out? Researchers tested this by exposing different parts of the crabs to mechanical touch and chemical. They used special equipment to measure. The results showed that the crabs react to both types of stimuli, suggesting they have nociceptors in these areas. Okay, so it's just like they're studying if they even have nociceptors in specific areas. Responses to touch. Responses to touch were shorter and stronger, while reactions to chemicals lasted longer. Interestingly, the crab's antenna only reacted to the chemical stimulus, not to touch. I kind of want to know what that implies, though. The fact that crab's antenna only reacted to the chemical stimulus and not to touch implies that the sensory function of the antenna might be specialized. Okay. Specifically, it suggests that antennae are more sensitive to detecting chemical changes in the environment rather than responding to physical contact or pressure. Might reflect the ecological role of the antenna, which are likely to use to sense chemical signals in water for navigation, finding food. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Detecting threats rather than serving a general purpose touch sensor. But then does that mean they'll have a stronger pain reaction to chemicals than to someone hitting them, for example? Okay. Studies suggest that crabs' antennae are more sensitive to chemical stimuli. This doesn't mean their entire body reacts the same way. Other body parts, like their claws and legs, showed strong response to physical stimuli like touch, which were described as shorter and more intense compared to the longer responses to chemical stimuli. Isn't that? I don't know if that's similar to how we react. Is that? Okay, in humans, physical impact like being hit is often caused immediate and sharp pain. The body reacts quickly to remove itself from source of harm, and the pain may subside once the threat is gone. Yeah, of course. Chemical stimuli, these often cause longer lasting pain and discomfort. For example, exposure to chemicals like acid, hot peppers, can result in persistent burning or irritation as the body processes damage and tries to repair affected tissue. The reaction to physical damage appears to be short and intense. Possibly triggering, okay. So while the subjective experience of pain in crabs is uncertain, the prolonged reaction to chemicals in both humans and crabs could reflect the body's attempt to monitor and manage a sustained threat to issue. Okay. Makes sense, I guess. Let me check, what was it? This one is interesting. Where's that one? I want to see the cat one. Want to see if it has some fucking vegan bias in here, bruh. I'm joking around. This one. This is interesting. Okay. I'm curious if anyone really... Can you like see it at least, or... Why doesn't it say like... Oh, it does say. It does say that I'm live, but... Okay, I'm kind of curious if I... switch... example here. Ah, okay, so you can see it, but it's just that at this point in time, no one is clicking on that shit. Okay. Leading veterinary professor has said that going plant-based safe companion animals, including cats. I'm curious about this because I definitely have heard about some issues there. So they said, is this not possible to form a complete vegan or vegetarian diet for cats? Guardian, yeah, but isn't it? Hmm. Increasing concerns about environment. Ah, okay, so they both had issues. Because obviously most beings have some amount of health issues. That makes sense, I guess, but okay. And this is uh, pa 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 da. But this is an analysis of studies, right? So there's no, yeah. No reduction of studies, okay, but hmm. This one I've heard before. Concerns have previously been voiced that vegan cats may experience urinary, again, urinary alkalinization, okay, predisposing to blah blah blah, urinary stone formation and lower urinary tract dysfunction. However, neither our 2023 study and 21 any increased risk of lower in vegan cats. Included 1,026 whose diets were known, of whom were fat vegans. We include okay, so do cats in general just get that easily or what? Hmm. Okay, let me check. it's not really a vegan. It's kind of a plant vegan, plant-based diet. Uh, I don't know how that lands, but okay. Dehydration. Huh. Okay. Hmm. That's interesting. But is the uh, um, is there any other risk due to eating a plant-based diet? Due to eating a plant-based diet. For cats, due to eating a plant-based diet. Their physiology has evolved to derive essential nutrients from animal-based sources, uh, but how does this work? Claims about potential risk. Okay, based on following evidence. Since it's sufficient. Yeah, sure, but plant-based diets rely on synthetic taurine because plants do not naturally contain taurine. While synthetic taurine is generally biodegradable, absorption can vary depending on the overall composition of the diet and other factors such as fiber content. Studies on taurine absorption suggest that diets with high fiber plant ingredients may. Okay. It seems to just kind of depend on some quite specific things, but I guess not all cats have issues with this. That is a high fiber plant-based ingredients. Huh. Okay. Seems like my internet is trash though. But yeah, not much to do about it. it doesn't seem entirely clear that the issue is that it's synthetic taurine or that the composition of the food, of the ingredients, of the nutrients isn't um, very well established. I don't know. So, yeah. A study by Blah showed that feline, I have no plant-based protein sources needed higher taurine supplementation to avoid deficiency. Well, that's all fine, but then there's a solution for it, right? So yeah. Okay. Okay. Mm, what's this? Ooh, that's some cheap stuff, bro. Fish fingers. Okay. Let's see. I have no idea if this like I know Lidl, but I have no idea if they have this only in the UK in the Lidl or that they will also have it in other countries. But let's check. Peri peri chicken piece, no chicken pieces. Ah, okay. Like I used to eat the peri peri chicken, but yeah. Meat-free burgers, Moroccan style burgers. Okay. Gordon Bleu, I know that one with the cheese thing. Smoked tofu. Well, honestly, these look like most of the stuff I've already eaten from other brands, so I doubt that it will be that much different, but you never know. Uh, Although I am curious about these though, because fish fingers were the shit when I was younger. At some time I stopped eating them even before I was vegan, but I used to really like those. So if those are like, yeah. Ah, here, that's here. See, products getting a lot cheaper. Good stuff. Okay, so okay. Haha. Finally, someone's here. Good to see that. Good to see that. Can you hear me all right, or how does it sound? All right, that's awesome. So far you're the only one here. So yeah, I've just been checking news, like trying out the stream because I've never done this before, and I do want to do this more often. So I thought I would just try it out and just get a feel for how it is, right? Can I make the chat bigger for myself or not? Yeah, I think so. It definitely takes time, but that's okay. Like the thing is, I want to use the streams especially for stuff that I do anyways. So if I check some vegan news, I can do it on stream and I can talk to people and you can check the news together and see if people have different perspectives on something, right? Which is a good thing. So yeah. But I want to try, like, I have the chat on the right here, but it's so small and uncomfortable to see like this. But I should be able to make it bigger, I guess, but I have no idea how this works. I might have to look that up another time or something, but yeah. Okay. Or maybe I can get it from here. Then, ooh, what just happened? Oh yeah, okay, now I have it. Can I make it bigger also? Yes, I can. Or, no, I can't. I have no idea. Like, can I even? Oh no, doesn't seem like I can. But yeah, yeah, I should ask them too. In general, I also want to stream with other people, right? Because it's fun and you can help each other out with growing your channel and such. Ah, okay, now the chat is big. Okay, this is way better. Okay, and then if I go here, then the chat is okay. I have no idea, but it's okay. Okay, let me check. Yeah, I know streamers often have the chat in their stream, right? They just have it here, which is awesome. But yeah, I have to figure that out. But it's a test stream, so that's okay. Um, but yeah, I was checking out like the vegan cat thing. Uh, which like there seems to be every year or two there seems to be more about it, and it becomes a bit more clear that if you have a well balanced diet with all the nutrients that they need, that it's mostly okay for most cats, right? There's probably some cats that might have some issues because of their physiology, but I think at least when you're vegan, right, and you have a cat as a companion animal, you should try it out. Um, like obviously, if they get very sick, then it's another story. But if you don't even try it out because you're just told like, oh, they're carnivores, so we can't do it, bye bye, then yeah, I don't know. That's not. You should at least try it out because that's similar to with humans, right? That people say, yeah, you need meat to survive, and then yeah, other people say you need that, and it seems to be. So I'm not even gonna try it out. It's just as uh, partly lazy, I guess, but it's also about just fear people have, I guess. Because I do understand if you have a companion animal and you care a lot about them, then it's gonna be um, maybe difficult that if the consensus, or at least like the consensus around your family, friends, people you know, and everyone is you should never give your cat a plant-based diet because this and this and this will happen, and you care a lot about your cat, then it's gonna be hard to give them that kind of food if you, yeah, if you're scared of it, right? Um, I don't know if you're still here. I don't actually know your name, right? Like I know it's LS LS LS. Well, that's a bit hard to say. Maybe I should just say LS, right? Like, uh, if you're still here, just LSL. Okay, okay, okay. All right, that's cool. Do you have like a companion animal or anything? Mm, headlines. Wait, this is very old. Your family has a cat. Okay. And you live with your family, or I have no idea how old you are, so I don't know. But not that it's necessarily a bad thing if you're older and still live with your family, of course, but it's just more general. Okay. Let's see. Is there still some? Ah, yeah, the bird flu thing is very fucked up. Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. It's definitely hard if they, if if they, I don't know if they are, but if they are not eating plant-based food, partly because maybe they're like um, scared of the health issues that come with it or something, then it's probably also very hard to just say, okay, then we'll give it to our cat, right? That doesn't make much sense. Um, but yeah, you've banned bacon from the house. How did you do that? Like, are they open to eating plant-based sometimes, or like, because how do you ban bacon from a house? Is there like conflict there, or are they just like, okay, we understand it? Conflict, okay. There's no way I was gonna have the entire smell like 6 months old. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a tough one. I think with cheese and meat in general, meat is the worst thing, right? With cheese, I think it just smells bad, but honestly, I never liked it, the smell anyways, even before I was vegan. But with like bacon and meat, it's has such a, I don't know. I don't know what the smell is. It's hard to say because obviously we automatically think of the animals when we even smell it, right? Um, but with meat, it just smells. It's not sour, is it? I don't know exactly what it is, but it's just nasty how it smells. And yeah, bacon is definitely it's uh, it's a tough one, right? There was a book I was reading. It's a Dutch book, and the writer, it was about a person who went undercover in like the industry, uh, and he had to do a lot of things himself that he never wanted to do, but like he did some amazing things for animals, but um, because he had to do it himself, right? Like I don't speak German, no, no, just Dutch and English. But he had to do it himself, like cut off the tails with like a heated blade, and he said that smelled exactly like bacon. So from then on, every time he smelled it, he had to think of the fact that he did that himself. He had to do that himself, and it's just so it's yeah, it's very bad, very bad. No, not Deutsch, Dutch. Like I had some German in high school, but to be like even 1 or 2 years. But it's, in high school it's often like you study for a test the day before, and then like you do great on the test, but because you just studied shortly, you forget it like a week later, and that's how I mostly did things in high school. So I can't speak German at all. Hey, someone else is here. Sima, how are you doing? I listened Journey when I was young, so I still know it fluently. Oh, okay, okay. Where do you live now then? Mm, Ohio, okay. Terrible? Why is it bad? To be honest, where I'm living right now isn't the greatest either, but at least there's a grocery store nearby where it's pretty easy to get like vegan stuff. So I'm happy enough here. Ah, yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, I live in a area where there's quite a bit of farmers. Um, like literally, I've been living here for about like 2 or 3 months now. And the first week that I lived here, I went out for a walk, and I just randomly, like it was an evening, so it was a bit sketchy. There was like this white van, and they just dropped a dead sheep on the side of the road. And he had like two dogs with him. Like it was too sketchy. I didn't want to say anything because it was just too. I didn't really trust it. Um, but that's like the first longer walk I went on, and it was just like, okay. So first long walk I went on, dead sheep there. Yeah, really bad. But at the same time, it's like there's sheep farmers here, and sometimes when I go for a walk, I just go to the sheep and I just hang out for a bit. Um, Sometimes I shoot some pictures, can use that, send that to my family so they can actually connect with animals, right? So yeah, it's you can always find some positives, but chicken processing plant like 20 minutes from where I live. Okay, that's not far. Yeah, that's fucked up. I've never really. I don't think I've ever lived near one, but to be honest, they're also often quite hidden. So even as a kid, I maybe would have lived near one. It's not that easy to know if you don't drive past it or something, but yeah. And about the progressive part, yeah, here it's also like most of the people here are right wing, and yeah, usually that comes with a bit less empathy, I'd say. Um, but yeah, it's not like the left is amazing when it comes to veganism or anything, but I'd say it's a bit better. All the farm animals are mostly hidden away here. Yeah, honestly, here that's also the case. They're also mostly hidden away. You like the sheep I see is they're like just eight of them are outside. Yet now they're not there anymore. I would guess that they killed them for the winter, but I'm not entirely sure. Also, if there's anyone else in chat, I would love to talk. Love to get to know some people. You'll most definitely start getting trolls soon. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it comes with the territory, but it also depends, right? If people are just gonna troll and spam like the same questions, for example, then it's like, yeah, this is where. Uh, yeah, if I get a bit bigger in terms of the amount of people that are watching, then I would then it would be nice to have a moderator or something. Um, but yeah, if people spam and ask the same questions and are just disingenuous, then at some point I'm gonna say, okay, you're gonna have to be a bit more honest, be a bit more respectful towards the people that are here, or else you're out, bro. Like, um, I don't mind confrontational people, and if people want to argue a little bit about certain things, that's fine. But just stay respectful and honest, and then it will be a pretty good time, I would say. I'm on James Durkin stream for his vegan outreach and have to interact with the dumbest people on this earth. Yes, I know I sometimes join streams. Lately, I don't talk that much when I'm in the streams. I think that is because the people that are there aren't the most fun to talk to, besides some of the vegans, obviously. But yeah. A Streamlabs donation link. What is that? Is that just a. Because I know people can donate in the chat, but do you need like a certain subscriber count for that? Or. me see, is there anything interesting to watch? Yeah, I was watching a little bit of Chip, but you can donate and your text gets turned to speech, incentivizes donations. Ah, okay. Yeah, I've seen that on other live streams. That's good stuff. I agree. I should check that out. Wait, let me write it down actually. Where is it? Where is it? Streamlab donations. Text speech donation will definitely get abused as well. Yeah, that's true, but at least there will be donations, right? I think they will probably be abused, but yeah, exactly. Like if you make it like 2 or 3 or something, then people won't, trolls probably won't give me money, right? So, but hey, if they want to give me money and for a troll comment they can post just because they want to do the text to speech thing, I if it's not too ridiculous, too offensive, then I don't necessarily mind that because the money I can use to stay safe and help animals. So it's not the worst thing. But yeah, what was it? You said Joey aspect. Yeah, true. Um, to be honest, I kind of stopped watching some uh, like the more horrifying videos, the more abusive videos. I kind of stopped watching them. I sometimes still watch them when I really feel like, okay, I need to watch this for a thing I'm doing later on, just to gain some knowledge or whatever. But besides that, it's like, yeah, it's just hard to watch. And I know the ones Joey puts out are definitely hard to watch because I've watched one of them and I've watched like 5 minutes and I was like, okay, I'm good on this. But I did keep it playing in the background just for the support. That's what I sometimes do. Funny way for animal abuse to rage donate would be pretty funny. Yeah, honestly, it would be. It would be. But how would you do that? Right? Like finding a way. How would you do that? You have to really bait them, but um, or you could say something like, well, if you donate $2 with a text to speech thing, then I will do this on stream. Like then I will eat eggs on stream if you donate $100. And then you will obviously not eat eggs on stream and use $100 to save animals. And then the joke's on them. They would never do that, but it would be funny. Okay. This is tomorrow. Might watch that. Can they really go vegan? Maybe I should watch that. Lucy stuff is good. Let me see. Of course.
Do anything mean, and I feel that animal and I have a connection.
It's not really one that is.
So I have no idea if you are hearing this.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching.
That's also something I wanted to check.
Watching that video.
I think some of the things are definitely inhumane and not.
Okay. Echo from the video audio. Huh. Okay, wait. How do I do that? Okay, I have no idea how this works. Because that's the audio input. But if I play this, then...
Correct.
Then it shows on this one, but... Okay, then I have no idea how this works, honestly. Okay, maybe I might have to ask someone another time to check that out for me. It does seem like there's only one here though, so I don't know why it's double. Screen, desktop audio, audio capture. Okay, wait, I will mute all of these and then oh, okay, so now if I play it, do you hear anything? It should be muted now, probably. Muted, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, let me check. Then I will just try this one first. Still muted? Okay, still muted. Ah, I think I see it. I think I see the double one. So I only need to, because one is screen capture and one is audio capture. But if I do this one.
But it would probably have to start at the top with
Is it
laws
still
coming down from
echoing
the
now
federal
or is it
government
fine?
that would create regulations for animal humane treatment.
So,
It's
what would
good
you
now.
call someone to?
Okay, I will watch this then. Hello, Carrie. Good to see another person here. Yes, this is where the cool kids, vegans, hang out, basically. I should be able to put this a little bit less loud for me though, because it's loud. It's very loud.
In very humane ways. We don't do anything mean, and I feel that that animal and I have a connection.
It's not really one that is
Okay.
a solid enough reason to justify it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching. How did that make you feel watching that video?
I think some of the things are definitely inhumane and not correct.
Okay, wait, but I'm curious if I put this all out, then I have to probably put it down here, right? Oh, wait, now it's almost...
I feel like they're being mistreated and scared because they don't know what's happening.
What do you think we can do to stop this from happening?
I think it's a big problem with just how the entire country is run and the big businesses, how they're protected with laws and different regulations that don't really apply to them because they run our economy so much. So I think it's really hard to uproot kind of the problems that are causing it. But it would probably have to start at the top with laws coming down from the federal government.
Okay, is the audio like loud enough? Should it be louder? Should it be a bit less loud, or is it fine? Sounds fine. Okay, that's good. Just trying to make it so that I'm just as loud as the people talking in the video, so that when I stop it, it's consistent, right? Okay, good to hear. Good to hear. Okay, I don't know, how much do you mind if usually I speed it up a little bit because it's just like, can be a bit long. But I don't know if people dislike that much, honestly. Money for James might actually putting holes in my brain, yeah. It's especially on the internet, right? When you talk with people in real life, they can say some stupid things, but online it's way worse because there's just everyone is hiding behind a picture of like of no one or like a movie character or whatever, like it's not that personal, so people can say whatever they want usually because free speech, I guess. Which makes it way worse. Like most of the offensive and negative stuff that's said online, they wouldn't say to you in a conversation because they just online people forget they're talking to another human being. So yeah. Yeah, but even if the subject was benign, like Pokemon cards, something fine, but the fact we're talking about gas chambers and stuff really makes me question life. Yeah, I understand that. I guess we just need to keep in mind that often it's like it's a way to cope, right? Like joking and acting like you don't care about it. Then, because if you're truly honest and you say no, this is something I do care about. I do care about animals. Then, well, then you pretty much have to change, right? But if you try to convince yourself, no, I don't give a rat's ass about that. There's rat's ass. That's not a very vegan phrase, but I don't care that they're sent to gas chambers. That then maybe it's easier to stick to your ways. But yeah. Same with the joking, right? If you joke about someone, it's just yeah, they do, because it's just that hard for people to change. Um, for some people, for many people, I'd say. Yeah, of course, and people like you, people that would rather be empathetic and understanding, just make the world a better place. But it's hard because it's also not like it's hard because people don't really choose. I don't think a person chooses to be either not empathetic or not understanding. It's just because there's like they somewhat choose, but there's like a lot of baggage underneath that makes them make that decision because of some emotional baggage, right? Yeah, they are. Because again, if you open up and you are vulnerable, then like I said, then the only thing you can say if you're not a psychopath, then it is to say this is very bad what happens, and I would not want to support it. Like most people know that they don't want to, but or at least deep down. It is choice, but those choices stem from conditioning also. Um, like I would never say people can't make choices, but I do think those choices are determined by a lot of things that aren't really in your control as much. You have some control, but not enough, I guess. Because like you said, if they're not afraid to be vulnerable, if that fear wasn't there, then most people would just be vegan, right? If you weren't fearful of how people, your family will judge you, or how people will see you once you make that change, or the conflict that it might bring for you and your partner or other things. Like, if people are not afraid of that, then they would just be vegan, because yeah, everyone understands that what we do to animals is bad. But okay, uh,
That
I
would create
watched the video.
regulations for animal humane treatment.
So, what would you call someone who refuses to use other animals?
Refuses to what?
To use other animals
I'm
as objects or things like that.
oh, I'm not sure if it's vegan. Maybe is that okay? Yeah.
So we're
Okay.
vegans. Basically, a lot of people think it's just a diet, but really it's the stance against the use of other animals as objects or slaves, things like that. Just to tell you.
It's still interesting. Like, um, I haven't seen enough of her stuff, but it's interesting that she gets to the vegan thing very quickly. I sometimes do that when I've done outreach where the person kind of wants to go, they don't really feel like being there. Then I'm just like I quickly get to the point and I say like it's this and this and that. Please either think about it or make the change if you can and such. Some things like that. Um, but like if you have the time with someone, I think it's often depends on how open they are. If they're very open, it doesn't really matter when you mention the word vegan. But if they're less open, then sometimes it's good to even not mention the word vegan and just say something like animal rights, even though it's so similar. But for example, vegan is so offensive to people, and then you say animal rights, and it's like, yeah, I think animals should have rights. Like, okay.
little bit of why I'm vegan. So one day I watched footage of how they were subjugated, and there was a feeling of absolute horror, of course, and powerlessness, and just like, what the hell are we doing, right? I could.
That's good. Like, I try to do this also often. It's just telling your own experience of either why you went vegan or why you do something.
At least myself be vegan and just refuse to participate in it. Have you ever had a connection to another animal?
Yeah, I've had pets and I hunt and things.
Feel connected to the animals you hunt?
Ooh.
I do, yes. Because when I hunt, we use every part of the animal that we can, and I donate a lot to food banks and things if we aren't eating certain parts. And I feel that there's a certain sacrifice that the animal's making for me, and I mean, we hunt in very humane ways. We don't do anything mean, and I feel that that animal and I have a connection.
Yeah, these are the very common hunting talking points. Like, when you're a hunter, everyone says this. Literally every hunter says this. Like, we use everything of the animal, like all their body parts and this and that, and we do it humanely, and we also give back, and they're sacrificing something for us because, but right, it's all the same talking points. But yeah, that's
Let me throw you a curveball. So if I went out and killed someone, but I said that it was fine because we had a connection and I felt connected and that they sacrificed themselves for me, what would you tell me?
But okay, yeah, that's what she just said is great. But also, it's good to keep in mind that even though someone has all the exact same talking points as other hunters who you might have interacted with, they might be a completely different person underneath, right? So he seems pretty chill. I have no idea where this goes, but someone might have said exactly the same thing as him, and from like 3 minutes in, gets angry at her for even starting the conversation, and he might do the opposite. I have no idea what he's gonna do, obviously, but
I think it's different if it's with a person than
What
it is
would you
with
tell
an
me?
animal. Then that would be incorrect if it's with a person than an animal, yes.
okay. I'm glad she asked the question again because he was about to semi
And
dodge the
why do
question.
why do you say it's different?
I think it's different because that's how I've been raised, and that's how we've always hunted in Montana. There have been people hunting here for thousands of years, and these animals live out in the areas that we've moved into, so it's just generally accepted, and my family's always hunted, and I enjoy hunting, and we use the animal. I mean, it's just like going to the store and buying meat. The animals, I mean, they're different types of meat, but it's healthier for you, and it's better for the environment, and it helps with conservation also. Animals, in certain scenarios, if they're not controlled, then it is more detrimental to nature and to the society.
So the conservation point is just obviously like, okay, I have to find something here that actually makes the world a better place. So conservation, that's a good one. Yeah, it helps nature, right? It's just, yeah, making yourself feel better about what you're doing. It's similar to like, if the crop death argument was true, even though veganism is about exploitation, right? It's not necessarily about the death count. But if crop deaths was a bigger issue if you were vegan, if you ate plant-based, and it would be like, instead of 1 million animals die, it's like 1 billion, then it would make you think twice. But it's just not the case at all. So yeah, but that's why people also go to the crop death argument, obviously, because, oh, what if I don't have to change because veganism is worse? Yeah, obviously.
I understand you like the
Yeah, I feel so. This is also just such a tradition is peer pressure from dead people. I love oat yogurt. Just that. I love it. Oat yogurt is really good though. Yeah, I think it's. I used to eat a bit of soy yogurt, but I like it less now. I don't eat much yogurt in general anymore. Usually I eat just oats with like plant-based milk. But yeah, I've had some oat yogurt. It's really good.
concern about conservation is a real thing, and of course, like there's this thing where it's interesting when you look into it. You probably heard of that. How humans have created that by hunting the predators in the first place, so that the ecosystems would be unbalanced. So what I would propose as a vegan is to just let nature do its thing, kind of thing.
Is hunting ethical for animal life? Haven't seen that. But.
And then there would be less victims because they would there's less predators in that sense. Has there ever been a time in your life where you felt overpowered or taken advantage of?
I don't know if I've had a scenario like that. I think I'm a very independent person and I stand up for myself, and I don't think that's happened to me.
A lucky one.
Uh, it's hard to believe, honestly. Like, have you never had like like, I don't know, a teacher or someone like older to you? I don't really believe that, but like, I do believe that he seems like a confident dude, so he would stand up for himself probably. But I don't believe that he's never been oppressed in any way by another person. What's funny is that a lot of places actually raise deer to be hunted, so the conservation thing makes zero sense. Yeah, it does happen. I do think there are some issues sometimes, even though, like if they were not raised to be hunted, then it's usually still because of what we did in the past in terms of like we were causing pretty severe climate change, right? That's another thing, and we shot a lot of predators to death. So uh, it's still our fault. So it's a bit, it's very dumb to be like, okay, so it is our fault that you deer are in this situation. So to help you out and to help nature out, we're gonna shoot you too. It's just, yeah, it makes zero sense. And most of these people wouldn't start shooting cats, dogs, or humans for the same reasons. Just because they've been raised to shoot deer, then at some point you think it's okay to shoot deer. Yeah.
Okay, well, do you see where I'm going with it though?
I do. Yes, I understand the connection you're trying to make, but I haven't felt like that.
So if you're one of the animals in the video, how quickly would you want humans to stop doing that to you?
In those scenarios, very quickly.
And I'm also talking about the animals you hunt.
Okay, well, I think it's different. I think with hunting, it's done in a much safer and healthier way for the animals than in those. In the videos you showed me, those are improper treatments of farm animals that are kept in confined cages and that are slaughtered in certain ways that aren't humane. So with hunting, there are certain ways to do it that doesn't hurt the animal and it's painless, and
You kill them.
you do, but I mean, it happens with everything. Everything dies. It's just in the
Yeah, I
videos that
know
you
what
showed
she's
me,
gonna
it's
say.
much worse for the animal, and the people are doing it without any compassion for what they're doing. Whereas when I'm hunting, I understand that, I only take safe shots.
There are a bunch of places in Ohio that have fenced-in deer for you to hunt. Yeah, that's wild. That's And again, the thing is like, yeah, everything dies, so I can just kill. Yeah, it's a classic. She knows exactly what to say to that. She's probably gonna say exactly what we think. But for the hunting thing, it's also what was I thinking of? That we have alternatives, right? Sure, it might be true that in some ways, if you let a certain amount of deer die and reproduce, that it's not great for the ecosystem, and then that will have negative effects on animals and humans too. So I in some ways, I understand the concern, even though often the concern from hunters doesn't really come from that, but more just I want to keep shooting animals because I've done that my whole life. But besides that point, right, like there's some merit to that. There's negative impacts from that ecosystem issue. But still, these people, if they were genuine, they would try so many alternatives before shooting a dog or a cat. It's like there's so much to try out, and then it's like, okay, yeah, but it might be a bit more expensive than just shooting them, so let's just shoot them. And it's like, yeah, but everything is probably less convenient and efficient when you start it. Every solution starts somewhere, and you have to think about how it goes, like how to progress that and how to think of better ways for that alternative solution to prosper, let's say. Um, and I just wish they did that more, but obviously the reason they don't do that is because they don't care that much and they just want to keep shooting animals. Which is just, yeah, it's a shame.
It's where I feel confident that I'm going to harvest the animal that I'm trying to. I'm not.
Harvest. My favorite
I
word.
would never take a shot that would injure an animal and get away or anything like that. And you can do it in a certain way that's much safer for.
They also, another talking point that this is such a common talking point also. Like, yeah, we always shoot them in one death and like we kill them immediately and then it's like done, no suffering, even though often those animals have a family and you are either, yeah, shooting their mother or something, right? And even if that wasn't the case, you're still shooting them even though they don't want to die. That's the most obvious thing. You people people animals are also people. People don't want to die.
The animal and is more humane.
So how can it be safer if they are going to be killed?
No, okay, safer is the wrong word. You're correct. In a more respectful
Less
way.
painful way? Is that what-
Compassionate and respectful, yeah.
I'm gonna still like challenge you, right?
That's okay,
So,
yeah.
if I wanted to again,
Yeah, I
kill
like that
someone-
she says that, and the way she says it, like it's very lighthearted. Like I'm still going to challenge you, right? The way, just her body language and everything is really great to keep someone open. Like, if we just flat out challenge them without saying that, if you say I'm going to challenge you in a lighthearted way, then it's like okay, we're having a more like, not necessarily a fun debate because it's very serious, but um, sometimes it helps to make it a bit more fun because then they stay open, right? Okay. If they were logically consistent, they would be hunting cats in the streets as well. It's just convenient. Yeah, exactly. They also don't die instantly. Hunters literally have to trail animals after shooting them, sometimes for hours, so it's total nonsense. Yeah, I agree. I've seen videos of that, and it's just, I don't know. In the moment, they always say we do it humanely, and like maybe half the time it happens humanely, and most of the time they still have to track them, or they still suffer for a while before they die, right? And it's also and still they also often shoot the pictures, right? They keep the deer there on the picture, post it on Instagram, like, hey, I shot them. And again, if you saw people doing that with dogs, then they would be like, oh, damn, bro, that's not something I want to support. So
but I did it in the like you said the safest way, so I didn't miss them and they wouldn't suffer so much in the process of dying. What would you tell me?
I would tell you it's murder. It's not okay. I think there's a strong difference between an animal that you're hunting though for meat and between a human.
hello, hello. Good to see another person here. Slowly, some people are joining, and maybe some people also already left, which is okay. But it's it's nice to see that some people join in and at least click on the incredible thumbnail I created.
Being that you're just murdering.
Why? What is it?
I think it's the difference between human beings are sentient and we're conscious beings and we have free will and everybody has their own life and their own things going on.
Uh, yeah, I agree with sentience and conscience, but I don't agree that animals don't have that. But the free will thing, that's for another time. I don't necessarily believe in free will, but that's
And we're able to control our own destiny, whereas animals
not
are
for today.
they've been living the same way for thousands of years and they haven't evolved to be a greater being. And I think humans are
Be a greater being. Human supremacy.
hierarchically they're higher
Okay.
than animals are.
So if I don't value for if I see another group
But
as
it's
not-
still like, again, they only use this when it comes to hunting. If I was walking behind him right now, I saw a dog, and I shot them in the head, point blank. Dog immediately died, no suffering. He probably, if I said to I'm superior, he wouldn't say, oh, sure, go ahead.
as valuable as my group, does that give me the right to use them as slaves or objects? Would you say?
No, I don't think it does. It's different when you're talking, in my opinion, it's different when you're talking about an animal versus humans talking about humans. When humans see other groups of humans as less valuable than them, there's an obvious problem with that socially.
Socially. For the individuals.
But I think when you're dealing with animals that you're hunting and that are harvested and that are going to die anyway, I mean, as humans are, but animals have courses of life that they run, and I think that it's a different.
You're right, he does look a little bit like him. I've only seen like Magnus videos only recently. I don't even know anything about chess, but I just saw some like shorts coming and then I checked that out, but that's funny.
Conversation there.
All right. So what is it? exactly that makes it okay to do that to other animals, but not humans? What is it about them?
I think it's just that they're animals and they don't have the same conscious abilities as humans do. They aren't developed and they haven't evolved like we have.
We need more specifics, bro.
But aren't they? Would you say they're sentient?
They're sentient, yes, but they don't have free will and can't control their lives like we can.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can equalize the trade. So what if a human doesn't have free will and can't control their lives like we can? Is it okay to shoot them in the head?
Okay, so let's say like they're basically going around doing their own thing. It's interesting that you say that because I agree. Of course, we don't have the same lives. We don't have the same realm of choice, of course, right? But I would say that it's not relevant to that because I would say that when you look at other species, they have their own lives, like you said. But when you look closer, they are actually really rich lives. They have often very strong social structures and deep emotional lives. Like they have fear.
I wouldn't even say they like. Why do humans have free will and animals don't? Animals make choices. I don't actually, like again, I don't necessarily believe in free will, but if I had to believe in free will for humans, then I think to be consistent, I would also have to believe in some amount of free will for animals, right? Sure, maybe not from like an insanely rational moral perspective, like they can think like, okay, if I do this and this and this and then I harm those people in other countries and blah, they can't do that, but that has nothing to do with free will.
They have preferences, personalities, and things like that. And so that's what makes me like see them, of course, as like sentient beings because they are. But like in that sense,
Wait, I don't exactly remember. I think he had pets. I don't know if she goes into that, but it would be nice to, because he's talking about free will and such, but still, it's nice to bring up his pets if he
prevent you from opposing them, like rejecting using them because they are like sentient, because they are sentient beings, and just going vegan.
I think for me, it feels more natural for my body. I do a lot of exercise and working out, and I can feel a big difference from when I've eaten.
Again?
And just going vegan.
I think for me, it feels more natural for my body. I do a lot of exercise and working out, and
why do we go here? I don't know why
I can feel a big difference from when I've eaten foods that don't contain the complex proteins and the things that meat can provide my body, and the amount of nutrients that I know meat has provided me. If I go and do a workout without meat or anything, I can feel that my body is not provided the things that it needs. So that would be probably my biggest thing, is I feel that.
Like obviously more people have said this, right? More people have said this, but besides that, it's just from a scientific perspective, it's some bullshit. But although I guess placebo is somewhat scientific, but so it could be the case that because you think that, then you might actually feel a little bit worse. It's probably similar to how sometimes if I eat healthy, then I feel really good about myself because I'm eating healthy, so I probably feel better because of that also. I don't think it's necessarily just the effect of eating healthy food and nutrients and such, right? But still, that people can change that, because you just have to, often it's also, you just have to make it tasty, and then once you enjoy it, it's like, okay, you get energy from that too. But even though if you didn't enjoy it, no justification obviously, but I'm just thinking of what changes people.
Foods that don't have meat in them don't give me the things that I need to survive, and it's more natural for our bodies to eat meats like we have been for tens of thousands of years.
Isn't natural for us not to brush our teeth? Does that mean?
So have you ever heard of like the documentary Game Changers?
No.
Damn, bro, I need to stop brushing my teeth. It's not natural.
No? Well, that would be really cool if you have access to it. Basically, it's like a really cool movie where they're showing like all these people that have gone, like athletes that have gone on plant-based diets, like animal free, for performance reasons. So the whole reason they did that.
I actually haven't seen the Game Changers, but like, I don't know if it's any good. I know it should at least be good in some aspects. I know some of Kip Anderson is right. Their movies or their documentaries, in terms of the style, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan usually. But but it might help people like him, where you simply think, oh well, I'm talking with this vegan who looks skinny, so vegans are automatically skinny. Uh, that's usually often how it goes. So maybe it would actually help to watch Game Changers. I have no idea. I might watch it actually. I think in general it's good to watch those kind of things, also because it just helps my knowledge of vegan content, and when I talk with other vegans and non-vegans about things, then I can always reference it, right? Ah, you gotta go? Okay, bye bye. It was nice to have you here. Yeah, I think that's like the scientifically, it's a bit rough sometimes. Their movies, their documentaries in general, they sometimes use certain statistics and statements that are a bit hard from to get behind, and sometimes even the scientists themselves don't even agree with those statements anymore, and they still use them even though they've stopped agreeing with their own past statements for years now, and they still use that statement, those statistics, which is a bit, it might be, I don't know if it's disingenuous or people just they don't really check it as well as they should. But I wish they did, because there's obviously vegans or non-vegans watching it, and then they look it up, and then it's like, wait, the scientists don't even agree with their own claims they made years ago, but they still use this claim, and then it's like, ah, okay, one flaw, so the whole documentary is bullshit, I shouldn't go vegan, right? That's how people think, because then they don't have to change.
It's because they wanted to have better results.
Oh yeah, Vegan Stone Relator is awesome, definitely. Okay, let's watch some more.
And so that can be really empowering to know. There's the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is like one of the biggest health organizations like on nutrition, and the NHS. Another one I can't remember right now, but according to like a lot of studies, including meta-analysis, which is the highest study you can get, which is really cool too. They found that it's healthy for like all ages, pregnant women, athletes to have, of course, a well-planned animal-free diet, but it's not really that hard to plan it out. There's also the concern of like the naturalness of it, which I understand, because often like when a food is more whole, it's better for it.
No, Vegan Stoner Lady is an activist. She does like live streams on, for example, TikTok. I think mostly on TikTok actually. She goes live there and just debunks people, asks people to get on the live stream, and then, hey, why did you exploit animals or something, right? And then she does a conversation or debate ish. But it's great. She does great stuff, and she does it consistently also. That's really good. Yeah, I don't really use TikTok either. I post some of my own stuff there, but I don't actually use TikTok to browse and to watch, because there's already so much social media that's it's a bit much. Yeah, about this. She mentioned a lot of other stuff too, so that's good. But sometimes, like I've mentioned it before during outreach, I've used that before. When I was doing outreach, I've said like, yeah, the largest body of nutritionists says this and that. Obviously, for us, it's like if you're a bit like you follow scientific statements from huge organizations because you trust them, then it's like, okay, that means a lot. So that changes my view a bit. Let me research this, and it might be true, right? But often people, when I do outreach, they don't really care about those kind of things. I think it's probably more effective to just show them vegan bodybuilders, right? If you go to, I don't know his name anymore. He was on Jubilee. But there was like, if you just make on Instagram, you make a folder with like 20 different channels of vegans that look really fit, and not skinny fit, but they look really fit, even though skinny fit is fine, but like they look fit and like buff. They look really strong. You just go through that. Here's 20 channels of bodybuilders. They're all vegan, completely plant-based, and see how they look. See how good they look, so strong, a lot of muscles, right? I think that's such a simple thing, because they can see the human beings, right? They can see the people, and it feels more real to people. It's just anecdotes often move people a lot more than this organization said this, because of a meta-analysis. But again, I'm not dunking on her saying that or anything. It's good to say it, but I think it's good to, when you say that, also surround it with some anecdotes for these people, because you already know that your stance is not based on anecdotes. So I think then it's kind of fine to use it sometimes to change people. That vegan teacher says to eat one cruciferous vegetable per day. I've actually forgotten what the word cruciferous means. English is not my native language, so sometimes I don't actually know what some words mean. Okay, installed TikTok the other day. Vegan teacher, I'm cooking my tofu to eat with my cruciferous vegetables. Tofu is awesome in general. Like broccoli. Cruciferous vegetables. Oh, what does it mean? Vegetables of the family. What the hell? What vegetables? Broccoli, Brussels sprout, cabbage. Okay, I understand which ones. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I know those are very healthy, nutrients dense usually, and it's good stuff. Fiber, everything. It's good stuff. Broccoli every day. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you, right? I don't. It's because I don't like the taste that much of broccoli. I used to like it more, but now I still take a multivitamin usually also because it's. I like certain vegetables, specific vegetables, and not that many different ones. So then I eat a certain vegetable almost every day or every 2 days or something. And I lack some variety in my diet, honestly, and that's why I also take a multivitamin. So veg one, yeah, I know that one. Maybe like I've been having the Vegetology one, the multivitamin, but it's almost empty, so I need to get a new one, and I wanted to find another one. Also need to check which one is cheap. That also matters. I broccoli every day, like an entire head or two. That's good. Good stuff.
That's right, because our bodies just knows how to break it down better and stuff like that.
By the way, like.
Considering we have all these studies showing that we can be healthy, This is free resources if you ever want to check that out. And if you ever want to talk more about it, I would love to grab a cup of coffee.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
how many animals will have to be used for you? If you ever
That's
considering we
interesting.
have all these studies showing that we can be healthy, This is free resources if you ever want to check that out. And if you ever want to talk more about it, I would love to grab a cup of coffee.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
how many animals will have to be used?
I'm curious if anyone actually connected with her to grab a cup of coffee to talk more about veganism. That would be amazing if someone was like, yeah, I'm open to just talking again with this random person I just met about veganism. Then someone is very open, right? That's awesome.
For you.
Oh, how many will I use in my life?
Yeah, how many will it take before you go vegan?
I don't know if I ever will. It would be definitely a big personal change for me. I've been raised on.
Yeah, I think that's. I think it's probably it's a great question to ask in general, but he didn't really seem very convinced in the first place. So then, yeah, it's probably not gonna do much for him. But I like how it gives me bloating and pain. It's disappointing because it's so versatile. Yeah, yeah. Some foods that's also annoying that it gives certain people certain like bloating or just purple cauliflower. Yeah, I got one yesterday. I actually have no idea. I don't know why it's purple actually. I think that might be the first time I've eaten it. I have no idea.
Meat, and I've hunted my entire life. I've fished, and that's just how I've been raised, and I think that works well for me. I feel like I'm a healthy person. I'm very strong. I exercise. I run every day. So I think for me to make that change, something drastic would have to happen.
See, there again, I think, yeah, because it's like, oh, I run, I do this, I'm healthy, I work out and all that, right? And then it's like, okay, look at all these people who do exactly what you just said you want to do, right? and they do it on a plant-based diet. So you don't have to do what you do to animals to keep doing what you're doing, right? You can be the same person, just eat plants.
Like maybe if I found a study like you're saying that was very convincing that I would be a healthier person and have more nutrients and better exercise potential on the other side of
Watch
going
Game
vegan.
Changers.
He does mention, okay, he does mention the studies again. That's kind of interesting. Um, yeah, I guess that's why I also said it's best to do both. Just mention the studies and the anecdotes, and then one of them might help them change, right? But it depends.
If I was truly convinced by that, and then maybe I would, but I think right now I don't.
But at the same time, I kind of doubt that he can read studies. Most people can't. I'm not very good at it either. Like, at least most of the time you can kind of know by just reading the conclusion and such, at least what the scientists themselves thought of the whole thing. But they can also be wrong in the methodology and then draw conclusions that aren't accurate. So it's still a bit hard. That's why I usually look to people like Matthew Nagra or something, that someone like him, that are a bit more in depth, and they can more easily explain what actually happened in the study. Yeah, because the Game Changers. No, actually, I'm not gonna say anything about it because I haven't watched this. I was gonna say it's good that it's anecdotal and scientific, but I have no idea how scientific it is. Changes his mind on vegan diet, not appropriate for sports. Yeah, I mean it could. I still need to watch it.
Think I ever will.
But what about the animals?
I think that the animals, that's the purpose of their life. In my mind, is cows and pigs.
Oh, actually, I have no idea. There's still some minutes left, but yeah, that's the thing. I think he still needs to be challenged on a bit harder. Like that animals aren't here for us. They and that they can um, experience many of the same things we experience. So, yeah.
Things have been bred to be farm animals to produce meat and milk and things, and it isn't done in a humane way, but that's what they're being bred for, and they're raised for that. And if I need to buy food, I'm not going to shy away from that.
But what if you could just breed a human for that purpose as well, right?
You could. I think that's where morally that feels like a different conversation to me, because a human, in my mind, is much different than like a cow.
Yeah, but what is it? Because we're both sentient.
Cows have been bred for that for hundreds of years, though. They have.
But that's not what we're talking about.
But now you just said that feels wrong to him, right? From a moral perspective. So he could just, okay, so if from now on we start breeding humans and we do that for thousands of years, is it then ethical at some point, right?
Talking about like the difference, you know what I mean?
I think the difference is free will, and having, you have a destiny planned out of, you can make choices in your life.
Free will. I don't remember if he has a dog or something, but if he has a dog, just ask him, like, do you think your dog makes choices? Like, do they choose to stand up? Do they choose to sit down? Do they choose to go outside? Well, I guess a bit less because you have to wait on. Do they choose to want to go outside, right? Do they choose to? Do they choose certain foods over other foods, right? They make choices. Maybe not as nuanced as ours, but
A cow can't make, and you have different things that you're able to do. You have a much more developed brain and limbs and the nervous system and things that they don't have.
Much more developed limbs. I think a lot of animals do shit that's way cooler than what we do.
To the same degree, so I think that separates you.
But what if a human cannot have these things like rationality because, for example, they might be mentally handicapped their whole life?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're still a human being with a human brain who's been born into a human world, and I think that they have those rights when they're born.
Okay. So it's still belonging to a group then?
I think they belong to a group of humans, yeah. It's just, to me, a human is different than a deer.
Yeah, but like what I'm trying to get at is like, have there been times in history where we used the belonging to a group as the sole reason to harm another group?
There have been, and those times are horrible, obviously. Like in Nazi Germany, and when we had slaves in the Americas, they're one of some of the biggest atrocities in human history, and I think everyone realizes that. But morally, that is different from saying that deer are a group versus saying that African Americans are a group and judge.
Like, yeah, what he's saying, he needs to explain what the difference is, right? Because it might be different saying they are a group and they are a group, but you have to say what is it about that group that's different, right? Because he just says humans, they're humans, and that's the same mentality to say they're just black, they're just humans, they're just animals. It's like, yeah, it's just speciesism, right?
Trying to justify those.
Why?
She does seem to have a French accent, and like I don't want to be like that kind of person, but she also looks French. So I don't know if she is. Might be.
So I don't have a good reason.
Is this if this is her real name? Lucie Mas. I have no idea. I can say a name in French and then I'm gonna think it's
For
French.
you, just in my
or,
mind,
like-
that's how I feel. There's a separation between those.
I'm trying to get you to see that there's not really a it's not really one that is a solid enough reason to justify it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah. Anyhow, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
I hope you go vegan immediately.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
If you'd like to support my
Yeah, that was really good. Her stuff is really good in general. Yeah, I think this is also what I sometimes think. Even though we also exploit dogs, obviously, and we also I give you the French pass. Thank you very much. But yeah, even though we also exploit dogs and cats and a lot of animals in some ways, it's not to the extent that we exploit pigs and cows and such. And some people are just not gonna get to a difference between humans and animals, like a moral distinction. They're just not gonna accept that they're the same from a moral perspective or very similar, because of us being conditioned to think humans are so important. But it's a lot easier for people to say there's no difference between dogs and cows, and then when they have nothing to say, or they would say, "I would never do that to my own dog," then you're pretty much there, honestly. Then it's just they've said it themselves, right? There's no difference between a dog and a cow. I would never do this to my dog. The only conclusion is there, then you should never do it to a cow. So that's where I've often gone also with outreach, and it does work. Not that they go vegan, but it works in the conversation. But yeah. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Is there anything else? Oh, it is also getting a bit late. Okay, so yeah, I will go. So, okay, this was chill, just doing a test stream. Next time I will also plan it ahead so people know it's coming, and I think then it's a bit easier for people to join in. But yeah, there were some people here. I'm glad you were here, and I will definitely do this again because it's fun and there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing off stream and I can just do it on stream. So yeah, that's awesome. All right, bye bye. See you next time.